Hi, bestie. Welcome back to Girl House. Today, we thought that it would be fun to do an ep on summer glow ups because we are slowly but surely approaching summer. And in LA, it has really been feeling like summer. Like, officially, I feel like the past 2 weekends, I've been going to the beach. I was pissed off as hell today, actually, because I drove to Manhattan Beach, and when I got there, like, it was a beautiful sunny day, and then I started, like, it's always, like, right before you get there, just full-blown fog. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But luckily, like, the sun was really poking through the fog. I still went swimming, and I still definitely got tan.
Is the water warm? I feel like it was cold.
It's not super warm, but
Yeah. Swimmable?
yeah, I think so.
I'm so jealous. It's freezing here. It's actually going to be a nor'easter all weekend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, to get into updates before we get into the ep, obviously I sadly am not there for Memorial Day weekend because round trip it was going to be $2,000, and I love you guys, but I just feel like
I'll just
that's
be
kind
crying
of
all
like
weekends.
just not really worth it. Yeah.
No, I know. It
But
is insane.
yeah, filling everyone on the crazy nor'easter drama.
Quite the drama. Jamie is here and Britta's also here with me. But she had to come in early because she was supposed to come tomorrow night and all the ferries are canceled, which I don't even know what we're going to do about Britta's friend because her ferry at 2 p.m. tomorrow was canceled.
Can
but
she
it's gonna
fly in?
Everything's getting delayed. Like, flights were delayed. Yeah. So she's trying to get
can't
on an
even-
8 a.m. ferry. But it's going to be
Wow.
insane because, like, this is the first big weekend of summer here. Or, as you say, spring. But it's the first weekend of summer, period. But it's just, like, going to be crazy because everyone that comes for the weekend usually comes, like, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure a
We'll
lot
see.
of people are like really pissed off right now. I can't even imagine.
No, I'm sure they're, like, freaking out trying to figure it out.
Is it coming,
I
like,
feel
can you
bad for
take a
the-
ferry from, like, elsewhere, or is it coming in? That's the issue.
It's coming in. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I even told you this. On my ferry last week to get off island, it was so crazy because first off, it was like a small ferry because the other one was broken or something. And this is the one that goes to New Bedford, so it's a little bit further than just going to like Cape Cod. And it stops at Martha's Vineyard. We got on the ferry. It's like very small, by the way. I'm not really mentioning that. And they're like, oh yeah, might just be a little choppy, like easy breezy. We'll get you there in no time. I'm not kidding. You could not see out the window the entire time. It felt like a car wash. Boom, boom. But it was like a roller coaster. Literally, I was
How
just holding
small
Vita
was
trying to
the
brace
ferry?
her like the whole time. Smallest ferry I've ever been on. I don't know.
Like, did you feel seasick? Do you ever get seasick? You don't.
No, I didn't really get seasick. People do get seasick even on like the big ferries. Like, people be like Sally
Yeah.
said when she was on it last, people were throwing up and they were also obviously hungover. But but luckily I did not do that. But it was shocking. Like, for him to say like, oh, a little choppy or like such downplay, like, it was shocking. So yeah, I'm sure it's obviously if they're not running the ferries, like, it's a legitimate issue.
Oh yeah.
Because they will
of
try
course.
to, at all costs, get people over
Yeah.
here. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
But
serious
we will
bummer.
see what happens. I mean, my people are here. As long as Britta's friend makes it, then it's all good.
Yeah.
And minus you, Avi. But, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, it's going to be...
spirit.
Yes, and VFA star, I'm sure. But no, speaking of spirits, it's going to be crazy because Fagawi weekend is always crazy, which is Memorial Day weekend on Nantucket. It's like a sailboat race they call Fagawi. It ends here. It's crazy.
Oh, I didn't know there was a sailboat race.
The race is
That
called Fagawi. That's why it's like now
Can't
coined
possibly
Fagawi.
be happening.
Oh, it is. It is. It's like notorious that it always rains, etc. I don't know how they're going to do it with the nor'easter. I really don't know.
You can't get a
But-
ferry in the water, but you can get a sailboat.
I don't know the logistics of it,
That
but
seems really inappropriate.
it does. But I could almost promise you that. Well, regardless, Fagawi
People
weekend's
are
still
going to be
happening.
getting flown off the sailboats.
Yeah, no, that does seem pretty dangerous now that you pointed out. I don't really know,
Well,
but
I'm just saying because like a big ferry compared to,
Yeah.
I mean, I know sailboats
100%.
can be big.
no, but a lot of them
Never
aren't.
been on a sailboat,
My uncle has a sailboat.
so you've been on one.
Mm-hmm. Britta's rolling her eyes, but it's true. It's the only one I've been on. Or, well, yeah.
You have been on a second sailboat?
I have been on other. One time, my nana. So, this is really a sidebar. But my Nana, I'll never forget this. So growing up, I had two best friends that also went to their grandparents' house in the same neighborhood as my Nana. And it's like this little beach community. And their older brother is very into boats. He befriended everyone essentially and would like get to, actually, no, this was literally their sailboat. What am I saying? He actually did befriend everyone else as well because he would do a little boat launch. But this was his actual sailboat and we were on it for hours because we didn't have cell phones or anything and we were like in middle school. And I just remember my Nana coming down to the boat ramp and like like everyone was waving, like his uncle, everyone was like, where have you guys been? Like we were just having the time of our lives.
You were lost at sea?
They just had no idea where we were, literally. And they were like, so yeah, we were in trouble because it had just been hours and we were just having a blast.
That reminds me of the time. I feel like this would be less frightening because we weren't on a boat in the water, but me and my friend in middle school went for a run in the woods, and like we usually took like an hour max, but that day like we were just like, we decided to take a detour, stop at a candy store, then, and neither of us brought our phones, and then we like sat on the dock at this lake and just chatted for like 4 hours.
Not a care in the world.
Yeah, yep. When we got home, everyone was like, what the hell? We thought
it is pretty crazy. Like you couldn't really alert people, like your parents, without a phone.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, where was this starting from? Oh, yeah, the race. The point being, it's always like a really crazy weekend because so many people come and it's crazy drinking and it's notoriously bad weather. And that leads to one thing. Woohoo! So it should be quite the party, but we'll see. Yeah, we shall see how it goes.
Aw, it's going to be so fun.
No, I know. I'm actually really sad you're not here, and I'm very happy that Jamie got here early because now we have extra days.
No, thank God.
I'm trying to be super tame today and tomorrow, or sorry, Thursday and Friday, because she is here.
But not tonight.
No, obviously tonight. No, but like it's very tempting to want to get to it, but it's a marathon, not a sprint, because it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because we have Monday off. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Just gotta keep on drinking and not stop is really the only way.
I'm not starting until Friday night though. Like, yeah, we were tempted to Thursday night, but it's not happening. I'm keeping my workout for Friday morning and just gonna, because I do not like to ever drink before work, nor have I since I've been back really. So yeah, I just don't want to. Anyway, that's where we're at. But yeah, that's all the updates. I'm sure I'll have a lot next week, which I look very forward to sharing with the class.
Updates on my end. I have a pretty big update that I wasn't sure if I was going to share because I feel like it is a bit premature, but I had a few glasses of wine and then I chose to share about it on TikTok, and then I haven't re-brought it up because I'm like, I don't have the details of this figured out at all yet, but it is what I'm doing. But basically, here's the thing. I love my job as an influencer. I always plan, knock on wood, for this to be my main source of income.
Knocked for you.
Thanks for the knock. Just because it's a very easy job. I understand why people hate influencers because it's a very easy job. That being said, as I think has come across like clear, like I love my life, but I sometimes wish I had like a little something more going on, if you will. And first of all, my tarot card reader told me to stop explaining myself and just enjoy my life. So I'm not doing this. Basically, I almost took the California bar back and forth, more to please other people because I felt so overwhelmed by everyone like getting so pissed off, because I feel like, and I know people are going to run with this I know you listening, Bestie, will not run with this, but I'm not explaining myself. Anyway, I'd only be taking the California bar to please others because I felt this weird pressure from people I literally don't know online that I should take the bar, be a lawyer because it makes sense. Being a lawyer is the last thing I'd ever want to do, nor do I need to do it because very thankful that this is my job. That being said, I have always, like, for so long wanted to be a therapist. And my whole, like, life, I just thought I couldn't do it because I thought you needed a science background. Um, but basically, at Britta's graduation, there was this really inspiring speaker that said something about you got to jump through one window and the next window. And I just.
No, whenever there's a window of opportunity, jump through. I hope you dive through. CEO of Condé Nast, he actually started with a physics major at USC, making missiles.
First, he
That was
started
the first
in a
thing.
band.
Yes, of course. He wanted to be a rock star. Then he realized he had to get his act together. Not that his parents and whatnot. But he has done so many things.
No, he said it was because he wasn't.
So many different. What?
He said it was because he got blown off by a promoter and all their equipment was stolen.
Yeah, he has so many different trajectories, but through all the different industries, he was basically just saying, like, when a window opens, I hope you dive through.
I have decided to dive through a window because turns out that I did a little research. I was feeling inspired when I got home, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can just figure out a way to do all this science and be a therapist, because that's something I could really, like, see myself doing, maybe even, like, part-time, and, like, actually enjoy and love. So I'm thinking about this. I look it up. Turns out you need no science background to be a therapist, because you just have to get a master's in psychology or something among the like. And it's actually a psychiatrist that needs a science background, which I did briefly dabble in for, like, 1 second, because my dad was like, they make a lot more money. But it would be, I'd have to go back to undergrad, take all the science courses, then do 4 years in med school, then do 4 years of a residency. Not something I'm interested in doing. Anyway, turns out to become a therapist, I just have to get a master's, which takes a year. And then, I mean, don't quote me on all the details. There's going to obviously be, like, I'm sure, moving parts after.
That's pretty crazy, the difference. I know psychiatrists can prescribe medicine, obviously, but that's crazy how many years versus how many years.
Well, prescribing medicine is, like, a pretty big
No,
obligation.
I know, but, like, but prescribing advice that is...
Yeah, that's true.
What's the word? What's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, mental health treatment, being an expert after years.
That's also obviously detrimental. No, it is.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why.
I'm not saying this in, like, a critiquing way. I'm just kind of shocked.
No, I know. Well, I think just, like, medically wise, like, obviously you can still fuck with someone's mind, but
Little different than
more dangerous.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, I get it. I'm just shocked.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have decided to get my master's, and I don't know if I will be doing it this year or next year. I'd love to be able to do it this fall. I'm going to, like, really start looking into it, but I think that's probably too quick of a turnaround, considering it's May. So I probably won't do it until fall 2026, but I'm hoping, or actually I could probably do it in the winter. I could probably start
January.
with the winter semester.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm really excited.
Maybe the next graduation will be yours.
Probably will be.
Because remember at my sister's graduation, I was like, oh, I pray that at her next one I'll have children.
Yeah.
The next graduation I go to now, probably yours.
Yeah,
oh my God, that's so exciting.
True. Yeah. So yeah, big update. I'm really excited. I don't think I'm going to share it on TikTok for a while, because I'm just not in the mood to, like, I want to have everything figured out before I, like, actually announce it. So I've been really just elusive. All I said was I was getting my master's, and I haven't elaborated at all or brought it up again since. But I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you. I feel like it just makes sense.
Yeah. It's just something that, like, I would actually love to do. But yeah, no, it is crazy. Like, obvious with you saying, like, that it's only a year and then you can become a therapist. I'm sure my cousin is a therapist, and she definitely had to do, like, some kind of apprenticeship, some sort of
I'm
thing
sure.
after.
No, I'm not.
But
yeah.
What I was going to say is I agree with you, because I never shared this on the podcast because I was scared she'd hear it, but at this point, who cares? My therapist, I had to drop her because I literally would call my mom after crying because she made me feel so much worse about myself and my life. She would just say like insane, like very abnormal things. And then like my mom made the point, like, just because you're a therapist doesn't mean you can give good advice.
That's what I was just gonna say is crazy. The reason I had that initial reaction was because it's like they're an expert. It's like everything they say is truth, but in reality they're not God, they're just a human being.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's why you have to go off of reviews and not get a therapist
but like,
from ZocDoc.
How crazy is that? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, think you will be an amazing therapist. And obviously, like, you learn, you know, all of these things, but it's just crazy that at the end of the day, it's your actual take on life and whatever that you bring to patients.
Yeah, and
so
my past therapist take on life was to be a submissive woman,
Yeah.
Which I just like don't.
Too much.
I like maybe one day I'll get into it, but I'll just say like one thing that was like, just give one example of like how out of pocket she was. So like very recently after the breakup, I was talking about how I felt kind of awkward because I had texted this girl and we were supposed to hang out, but then she ghosted me. So I just felt awkward because like I was like, oh, I thought we were friends, and then she never texted me back. And really, like, if I was a therapist, I don't have any background, I'd probably say like, not that deep, she probably has something else going on, or like delve into that, whatever, let's deep dive on why that's making you feel, whatever. I don't have any background or credentials yet. I don't know what I would say. But what I would not
what
say,
she said. Yeah.
What I would not say is, that's so weird. Do you think she's hooking up with your ex-boyfriend now? And I was
out of
like,
all the people in
I was
LA,
like, first
like,
of all,
what?
they don't even know each other.
Yeah, that's
Second
crazy.
of all, like, I have OCD. Like, why would you say that? And like put that like, and she wasn't joking. I was just like, what? So she was just like, there were a lot of issues with her. So anyway, yeah, anyone can be a therapist, including myself now. So,
well, obviously you need the schooling. I'm just saying, like, it is.
No, I'm completely agreeing with you. But yeah,
but it's an amazing thing.
And my last big update, this is not like these are like massive updates. I'm just bomb dropping right now.
What's the next?
But I do plan to move out of LA next year.
Oh yeah.
I think. I'm not positive because I am like, now I feel like I do have good friends here and a life here, and I feel very settled here.
I feel like you're Easter egging right now.
I'm not Easter egging. I'm about to say exactly what I'm doing.
Look at what you're wearing.
Oh yeah, so true. If you're
on video,
yeah, if you're listening, I'm wearing a San Diego tee. No, basically, I'm going to apply to grad schools in LA and San Diego, but I'd like to go to grad school in San Diego. I think it's just so much more my vibe and my speed and pace. Like, I love where I am at in LA right now because I'm at the beach. So it's like still, but like, I don't feel any need to be near like West Hollywood or Studio City or Sherman Oaks.
Emphasis on Sherman Oaks.
Any of the like I just don't need to be in these parts. So me and Celia's sister Britta, we went to San Diego for the day the other day, and I hadn't been there in a while, and I just realized it was shocking. We were both just blown away.
Yeah, but it was like going on and on. She had like the best day of all time.
We both had the best day, but what we were both blown away about was that everyone is so much nicer there. It's like shocking. Like, I just like couldn't even really believe it. And then I called my mom after, because my parents have like always urged me to live. My whole family's urged me to live down there. Everyone does not feel comfortable with me living in LA for various reasons. I mean, they're over it now. But my mom was like, yeah, you don't notice it because you are in LA, but there definitely is more of a vibe there. Like 100%. People here, I'm not saying people here aren't nice, but there's a lot of people who aren't nice here. And
there's also just,
I'm sure there's people
dark.
There's too much dark stuff going around. I think there's still very bright,
wholesome,
happy, light
bright.
places
No,
of LA,
100%.
obviously.
100%.
I just don't feel like I need to be here for literally any reason other than I have like friends here now. But
Yeah.
I still, it's even if I moved to San Diego, like I could still see my friends all the time
Yeah.
here. Like it wouldn't be, it's not like I'm like, it's like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Less, it's an hour and 40 with no traffic. So, yeah, don't quote me on this, but it really depends on where I get into school, but I am planning on moving to San Diego well, that would be kind of tricky if I get into school during
With your
the winter.
lease, huh?
Yeah. Well.
You could commute if you only had classes a couple days a week.
Yeah, no, I could. Until
like
I
the
moved
beginning.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only a couple months. It would really only be like 2 months, right?
Yeah, because my lease is up in March. So.
Yeah. That would be fine.
But yeah, those are my plans, and it's all to say, like, if you see a window, jump through it, and don't just like seriously, don't. I was about to just explain myself and be like, please don't misconstrue this, but I'm really trying to go off what my tarot card reader told me.
Well, I have
Obviously-
something to add.
Well, I was just going to say quickly, I do not say this with any malintent or lightly say stack on student loans. But all I will say is, like, don't feel tied down to something just because, for example, obviously I'm in a very privileged situation that I was able to not become a lawyer after law school because I have this job. But, like, don't feel like you have to do something just because it's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Like,
because at the end of the day, you have one life to live.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I feel like to the outside world, it's going to be kind of random. Then I'm just like, I'm going to go be a therapist.
Not to
But
you. And that's all that
It's
matters.
not to me. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
one other point from his speech that kind of like relates. I remember he said, and of course this is, to the graduates, but Callie and I both
We
really
were both
like
super
moved by the
inspired.
speech.
No, it was
But
an
he goes-
awesome speech.
It really was. But he was like, the worst thing that you can do is not embrace change.
Yeah.
Because the world is going to change. It's ever evolving. Britta's staring at me and cracking up. But it is. It's ever evolving. And if you don't embrace it, then you're going to be left behind, the reason why he has been so successful is because he has been on the forefront of change every time he created streaming, all those things. Like,
yeah.
I'm
He
just saying,
created-
like,
He created Pandora. And me and your mom both thought he meant the jewelry brand.
yeah,
But
he meant music, but that was the first time you
Yeah.
could like stream. Either way, it's just like, that's so true. Like in your case as well, like just embrace it.
yeah,
Seriously.
that's what I'm doing.
'Cause if you're
I'm embracing
holding back,
change.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
So
not
on
holding
that
back. I'm
note-
jumping through the window, and I can't
yes, diving.
wait. I am diving through the window.
Yeah.
I want to preface this up by just saying I hate the whole like summer body thing. Like I don't think when we're
Yeah.
doing glow ups, it has nothing to do with a summer body or whatever. Like
I'd say we're both glowing up.
We're both glowing up, and I think like I really think the glow up starts from within and
Obvi. Yeah.
reflects outwardly. I feel like my biggest glow up really was shocker here, going on anxiety meds, because everything in my life has going on anxiety meds and removing toxic friends, etc., from my life has like really, I feel so much lighter. And being on Prozac and Wellbutrin has given me the motivation to do all these things and like be vlogging and be going to the gym and like be normal and like not binge eating. I don't know if that has anything to do with like my whole binge eating issue, but probably because I'm happier. I'm not like emotionally binge eating. So I think for me, I have to get a new therapist, speaking of, because I dropped my therapist. That is on the list of things to do. But I think like number one glow up tip for me, obviously this isn't like summer specific and we'll get into summer specifics, but I think some like in general, what has gotten me, because this is the first time in like a year and a half that I felt good about my body and like my appearance and everything, and it's literally because I like feel good within. So
Yeah.
I think like my number one glow up tip in general is just to like get mentally healthy, because that's the first and most important.
And if you're really going to
Step.
talk body, even looking in the mirror and saying, I look fucking awesome,
Yeah.
is
No, that
step
is
number one. Like,
yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
And like
exactly.
believing, like, when you, I don't know if that came out right, but like feeling good mentally translates to feeling good physically.
Yeah. No, it's
if that makes sense.
Because if you are exuding like a confident, happy self, like you're going to, people are going to be like, wow, she's awesome.
Glowing.
Yeah.
Wait, we totally just, I'm realizing, speaking of confident, happy selves, we totally just skipped over the fact of our reuniting.
I know.
But
yeah.
we just
had
had
an
a great
epic
night. That's all.
reunion.
Yeah.
We had like a few nights together, 2 nights together. And we hit the town one night and pretended to be college grads. It felt slightly inappropriate because we were at like, we went to, I've never been here before. We went to the Victorian in Santa Monica, which if you don't know what it is, it's notorious for roofying people, and it's also just like a college frat bar.
But like this night in particular, it was quite literally like a USC grad party. Like I think we were the only people that weren't students.
Yeah.
But at least we were with my sister.
Yeah. For some parts of the night.
Yeah. Like we were pretty much just pretending to be students.
We just kept to ourselves, really, and got drunk, quite frankly.
Yeah. No, but I just realized we didn't even touch upon that, but no.
Yeah.
Anyhow. And another way, and I forgive me if this sounds stupid, but in the like specifically for summer, another way to get mentally healthy, like I know that this is not maybe going to be received well, but
just be confident.
yeah, I'm just going to say it because it helps me.
Just say it.
So going on a walk every single day.
I knew you were going to say that.
I know, but
I agree.
It's so true. It's like I could be fuming, literally fuming, and then I'll just walk it out, stomp some pavement, walk it out, and then you're actually bettering your mind and your health. And it's just like, if I could tell someone to start somewhere, if you're like, how do I want to glow up for summer? Just start walking. And don't have music in or an audiobook or a podcast. Wow. I mean, obviously you can, but for me, I just like love to think. Obviously I do all that stuff, but like it just helps the mental so much if you actually take the time to think through your problems. I guess you could do that anywhere, but for me, I really don't actually think unless I'm like genuinely walking.
See, for me, that's like, but I feel like it's dependent on your brain, because I overthink and overdwell on everything, so I can't let myself think on a walk, or else I just feel worse.
Okay, so
I think it depends on like
application may vary.
Yeah, but I agree with the walking part, absolutely.
For me,
I feel like I
was just gonna say, like, I would push away issues unless I take the time to go on a walk and actually like process and think through them.
And that's just the difference of brains, because I overthink, you compartmentalize, so I think it just depends on your brain type. But totally. Like I am going through my problems all day, every day. That's what I envy you for, is literally there's not a time I'm not thinking about my problems. But you are great at compartmentalizing and just chilling, so I'm glad that you have your time to let it out. But no, I completely agree. I feel like every single time we do like any bettering yourself, we always say walking, but it's literally because it's the best thing you can medicine. Possibly do.
You'll notice, like, I do believe, like, people that walk, like, every day, like, you notice later in life seem to have longevity. They just seem with it. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like, your mom's always walking. I'm thinking of our family friend Marjorie, who's always walking, and they just seem like it's just a form of mental clarity.
Yeah, no, it will always, and I've said this a million times, but my mom, whenever I was like going through something or in a bad mood, she'd always make me walk growing up, and that's like stuck with me so much, because it's really, really, it helps so much. Another thing in the form of like, if you do want to get, like, if your goal is to get snatched for summer, this is the one thing I'll say on that, is I have been doing Pilates for like a year and a half now. No, a year now. I don't know how, quite some time now. And I feel like I wasn't really seeing the results I wanted to from it until, but also keep in mind, and this is what else I'm going to say, like, I was binge drinking a ton of beer and eating a lot. So I like not eating a lot.
Balance.
I still eat a lot and whatever I want to eat, but I was like binge eating and then chasing it all down with beer and then binge eating more, which anyway, I have started doing the Stairmaster 5 times a week for 45 minutes. And that has literally like, and I know everyone's been saying it like on TikTok and stuff, but the Stairmaster has changed my body more than like any
so
other
jealous.
thing in the
I don't have
entire
a
world.
Stairmaster.
So like it's just like I
But honestly,
can't
walking
even,
changes my body more than anything.
no,
in the entire
walking
world.
does too. Yeah, I just for me personally right now, the Stairmaster, if you have access to a Stairmaster and you are trying to like get in shape fast, I'm like blown away by the results from it. I just
maybe I
like
should go
feel,
walk some stairs.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
But
I have
no.
one, speaking of walking stairs. This is also I guess these are, if you can get it, then you're lucky. Like the Stairmaster being one. Mine would be the ocean.
Yeah.
Completely changes everything. Obviously you also have it, like being around the ocean, putting salt water on your face. My dad used to always say like salt water is the best healer, but it really is mentally, for your hair, for your skin, for literally everything, just for breathing, just finding a quiet place. It doesn't have to be the ocean, but for me it like really mentally helps. It always
can also
has,
be
but
like
any quiet place, like the woods, or
that's what I was just gonna say,
a
when
rooftop,
I'm at home in
just
our
somewhere
hometown
to breathe. Yeah. I think really, I guess the theme for me is just taking a moment to sit with my thoughts.
Yeah.
It really does glow you up because there's a lot going on in there. Yeah.
When I am at home in our hometown and like growing up, I feel like the woods was that place for me.
So I guess it's just your special place.
But I will say, like, if you have access to an ocean, not even just mentally, and I do love to, we both will do this whenever we go in the water, like anything like we don't want, we always just release and then like go back in, and it feels so good to let it go. But
I guess nature in general, that's where we should
Yeah.
put that. It's just so powerful.
No, I know. But that's also, I like, for example, today, was it comfortable swimming temperatures? No, but my other, like, going off your thing is that salt water is so good for your skin and your hair.
So it's the best thing.
I notice, like, I get such a better tan and my hair looks so much prettier if I jump in the water and then tan. And I also have psoriasis, and it literally clears it right up.
Wait, have I told my dad's story on here with the salt water?
I don't think so.
So my dad always taught us like to put salt water on your face always, and he also had psoriasis, and like when I had acne, he'd just say like put salt water on your face, whatever. It was always the thing. And so one time for Christmas, I bottled up, so I might have told this on the podcast, I can't remember, but I bottled up a gallon of salt water, and I wrote on it like a special thing. It was like the cure or the healer, like something, salt water. And I gave it to my dad as a gift for Christmas, so he'd always have it because our hometown isn't like near salt water for the winter time. So he kept it in his car. And then one day he was really thirsty and he accidentally started chugging it.
Yeah,
and it was literally ocean water. And he spit it out and was like, oh, I'm like, how did you miss that? I literally wrote this whole thing on it. Yeah. But like he used it all the time too for his face and skin. But it's just funny. It was just hilarious at the time. We're like, oh my God.
Yeah, that would be quite a shock.
Yeah, I don't know how you could mix that up. But you did.
Well, it was in a water jug.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably just really thirsty. Let me get a drink.
Yeah, that's exactly probably what happens.
Yeah, but that is seriously shocking.
Yeah,
But no,
so
salt water really, it
it's the
does
best.
it makes you glow like crazy. Another thing for me that I've been trying to do every morning, and people comment on my TikTok and they're like, "What does this do?" I have no idea, but I know I feel good when I do it every morning. And honestly, like, it could be more. No, it definitely does something, but I think even the mental act of doing it is having my big spoonful of coconut Colts.
I knew you were
It's
gonna say that.
just
So what's your
uh,
favorite flavor? Tell the people.
strawberry and then chocolate. Those are the only. I've only had strawberry chocolate, and when I first got it, I was just getting the plain coconut Colt. That one's disgusting. I don't know why you would do that, but the strawberry one's actually delicious. The chocolate one's really good too. But
It has probiotics, right?
yeah, so the whole point of it is you take 2 spoonfuls, but you can't double dip. So, which is great because I hate saliva, even my own, so I wouldn't double dip anyway. That being said, I have now I woke up one day and I was like, I could use 2 small spoons or I could get a big spoon and just it does the same. It doesn't have to be. Anyway, it's yogurt that has a bunch of live probiotics in it. So it's obviously good for your gut and gut health. Like, I don't know much about it, but it's really good for a lot of things. I know that. And I know that I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm feeling better now that I'm doing coconut Colt again. I stopped for a while.
How long have you been doing it?
I used to do it every day last year, and then I randomly stopped because this is what I was going to say. They have small jars, and then they have big jars. And I got a big jar one time, and the big jar, like, I don't know what's the difference, but it tastes disgusting. I couldn't even handle it. The small jars, I really actually like the taste, so I was just like off coconut Colt for a bit, and it also was like sold out a lot of places, but now it's like always in stock at Whole Foods, which is epic. But no, I have my spoonful every single morning. Like, that's how I start my morning first thing, and I think just like that starts off. I've had like a pretty strict morning routine, which I think has also gotten me like feeling just mentally really good, and then like in turn like feeling better about myself. But like the first thing, it just feels nice. First thing before I leave the house is I have my big spoonful of coconut Colts.
Oh, you're making me want to get it. I don't think they have it.
You should try it.
I know. It's hard to find.
I feel like they definitely would have it somewhere there.
I'll have to look. Maybe like a special market.
Yeah. Because I feel like
I've yet
there's
to
no
find.
way that they would. You can also order it online, actually.
That kind of susses me out, though.
Well, it comes.
Isn't it supposed to be refrigerated?
Yeah, it comes in a with dry ice, I'd imagine.
I'll have to look around. I told you my update and you weren't shocked by it, but I've completely switched to half and half. No more like non-dairy.
I'm not shocked by it at all.
Yeah. Well, I just kind of like, my sister actually got me. She's sitting right here, but she actually got me on to half and half. And when she said that at first, I was like, ugh, because like when I went home a couple times and like had half and half, I wasn't like, it did not sit right with me, even though that's what we had like growing up. And then just one day I got back on it, and now I'm like fully back on it.
No, I actually too have been. There's that whole trend going on right now about like propaganda I'm not standing for and propaganda I am standing for, or whatever. And I feel like dairy milk is making a comeback.
100%.
And I will say, not to get into the whole discussion of this, obviously like plant milk is supposed to be better for the environment, but most of the time it's actually barely better for the environment at all. It's still really bad for the environment the way they make plant-based milk, unless you make it yourself, which I just don't know how to. Anyway, I too have been back on like dairy milk. I think what started that for me is the Dunkin' latte, because I'd imagine that the coffee milk's probably
100% whole milk. Yeah.
And so it's what I've been doing myself. And it feels, and like the creamer, I still love my Califia creamers. Like they're always my number one, but lately I've been having my Reese's creamer that I love so much.
That's whole milk?
It's not whole milk, but it's like, I don't know. It's not dairy. Well, actually it might be dairy free, but it's not plant based. It might just be dairy free because it's like very chemically.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even want to know what that is. But no, I also feel like that's such a thing in summer too, at least. Like, it for me, I feel like in summer, I do, and this is also part of glowing up, eat more like whole foods naturally.
Yeah.
Like
No.
you're excited to make like pasta salads or salads with yummy like seasonal fruits that are available or veggies. Like I just feel like in general there's less just like, do you agree with me or am I completely making this up?
No, absolutely.
Like there's a more of an inspiration for fresh food.
Yeah,
I guess
I agree. And it feels well, and that's something I feel like I've been doing right now too, is like, yeah, I haven't been like just like, not to say like, obviously Cheez-Its are like my go-to, like I'll never stop eating.
Well, of course there's
Cheez-Its,
always
but
stuff like that, but like the meals in general.
no,
I feel.
that's what I was gonna just say, is I feel like I have been, and this has been making me feel a lot better, is just like not eating out as much and just like making healthy dinners at home, like still like obviously not restricting at all, not just eating whatever I want, but cooking at home and like making like yummy healthy meals does feel so good. And it's also just
So
like
good.
the act of making it is like very peaceful.
Yeah,
unless I'm filming a
therapeutic.
cooking TikTok, then it's actually just stresses me the hell out, which I'm doing tonight. I'm gonna make a vodka sauce pizza inspired by the pizza we had.
Oh my god, are you putting cheese on top or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna put fresh mozzarella
I'm
on
so
top.
jealous.
I was gonna do burrata.
What was that,
but it just-
stracciatella or burrata? I think it was stracciatella.
Darn it, that's what I should have gotten.
Yeah, that's what I
grocery
meant by
store.
cheese on top. But regardless,
God
it's gonna
damn
be fire.
it. Well, I'm gonna put fresh mozzarella. Like I'm gonna
It'll be
slice
so
it
good.
thinly, because if you put
Oh,
thick
like
slices
legit. Got it.
on, yeah,
Sorry, I was imagining shredded, but like a ball of mozzarella. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm just gonna slice it super thin.
So
but
good.
how do you say it?
Stracciatella.
Stracciatella. Yeah, that's the cheese I
Stracciatella.
need. God damn it. I don't want to go back to the grocery store though.
Mozzarella will still be fire. Like so good. Are you gonna try to make it thin like that one?
The pizza?
Mm-hmm. Thin crust.
I'll try it as best as I can. I mean, I don't
I'm not
want to roll.
critiquing you. I was just asking.
I don't want a rolling pin, so I'm gonna like roll.
You can use a
my
water
pizza.
bottle.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna use a vodka bottle or something like that because it's longer.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
that's
delish.
my,
I can't wait to watch.
And then I was just gonna say, I feel like with my pizza, I should have a glass of wine, but I'm trying to not. I'm trying to only have wine like twice a week now.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that's like another glow up thing. Obviously, it's summer and like whatever.
I was just gonna say, kind of a bad.
But yeah, it's kind of the worst time. But I'm trying to at least like be mindful of when I have a drink, because it's really easy to get in the habit, for example, of like having a glass of wine every night with dinner, and like on the weekends.
Well, that's what it is. It's a habit.
Yeah, and I feel like on the weekends in the past like winter and fall, I was just like binge drinking like on the weekends like crazy, and then that just like throws off your entire weekend, and then you feel like shit, and then you eat like shit, then you don't move, and then like
I was gonna say never ending cycle.
Especially when you start on like Thursday night and then you end on Sunday, that's half of your week where you just feel terrible. And I feel like I was like doing that a lot. So now it's like, not to say I'm not going to have fun and I'm not going to have nights where I drink too much, but for the most part when I go out now, I try to be like mindful of like how much I drink, so that like, and I haven't had like, well, the worst hangover I had was like 2 weeks ago when I drank 2 bottles of wine during the day. So I'm like, obviously you're gonna have those days, but
yeah, I was
to
just
be,
gonna
like,
say like, oh yeah, I'm not really gonna be drinking because in June I'm really not, and then I'm like, oh, what's the weekend ahead? Probably all drinking.
well, yeah, but that's like fine, like that's fun,
Yeah,
and that's
no,
what
I know.
summer's
I'm just
for,
trying
too.
to drink, socially, and it is like a huge. But in June, I'm gonna try to not really as much. I
feel like the whole point of this app is really like everything for this glow up is just balance, like truly.
Yeah, and what feels good, like when. Let's be real, when something feels good and when it doesn't.
Yeah.
Your body knows.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying. So like, just listen to your body.
Getting more into like appearance things, like glow up tips, because I feel like we're just like spewing not bullshit, but like just like mindfulness, which I think is the most important. But one thing that I have been just absolutely loving for my body skin combo that I feel like has made me feel just like really good and made my skin look so glowy and good, is for my body. I got this. So I love, my favorite soap right now is Olay, and I was using their like elderberry one. Don't quote me on that. It's like purple. But what it was pissing me off because it's so purple that it stains my shower, and then like I have to clean my shower all the time because it just
it's legit purple. That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's legit purple. So then I saw Olay has this like intense hydrating serum body wash, and I bought it, and I've been using it, and it really does intensely hydrate you. It's crazy. And then right when I got out of the shower, because this is really bad, but like honestly I'm so lazy about moisturizing my body, which is so weird because I'm so adamant about my face. I'm just like, fucking hell, I just want to dry off, put on pajamas, and like chill. I get that. But I've been forcing myself to, I do lotion first, and my two favorites right now are Eucerin and CeraVe, although CeraVe is actually winning only because this is not really Eucerin's fault necessarily, because I got the thickest one they have for eczema, but the CeraVe one that I've been, I get the thick Eucerin one, but the CeraVe one that I have, it's so like, that's part of the reason I hate putting on lotion, is it takes so long to rub it into my skin. The CeraVe one soaked right in. It was so relieving today to have that happen. So that's like my new go-to. And then on top of it, I use a body oil to really lock all the moisture in.
What body oil? That's what I don't have.
Salt Air. They have the best. I'm in right now, and you'd really like.
And it doesn't give you any acne or anything.
No. And
that's my only thing with body oil. Sometimes they like clog pores.
Yeah. No, this one's
I've never
great.
tried this one. I'm just saying.
And it, I've been using the vanilla scented one, and I love it so much.
I need that because my combo, as you know, is the Athena vanilla body wash, and then my Kiehl's lotion, which is unscented, or maybe it's like faint grapefruit, but I don't think so. Yeah. Wow, I really need that.
I know.
Oh my god, is it new?
Yeah. No, I swear I've given you a bottle of it. And we gave.
I have the hair
giveaway bags.
Oh no, I don't have that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'll have to get on that.
It's really, really good. I really cannot recommend it more. But no, I just like, it feels really good to not look down at my skin and it be like dry and cracking.
Yeah.
that
would always feel
like,
good.
I know you are like so disturbed by this, but it's just the honest truth. I'm really bad about shaving my legs, not because like I like don't want to, or not because like I don't, not because I
have no excuse.
Well, first of all, some people don't like to shave, and that's a choice, and that's totally okay if you like,
yes, but you do.
I do like to shave, yes. That being said, I feel better about myself when I've shaved my legs. Yeah. I often don't. I don't know how to explain it other than it's like, what the hell? Like, no one's looking at my legs until I realize they are. And so I have been shaving my legs lately. It feels really good.
Glowing up, literally.
All right, and on that note, Celia has to run, so we're going to wrap this episode up. But we love you so much, and we will see you next week.
Happy summer.